All right, good morning, everybody. Happy Tuesday. Happy second day of May. Welcome to today's Microsoft Flight Simulator live stream. I'm your host and pilot, as usual. It is I, your host and pilot, Uncle B. Today, we are back in the Grumman F-14A. No, it says DC Designs. They are the developer of the aircraft for the flight simulator. We're departing from Marine Corps Air Station Miramar, former Naval Air Station Miramar, the former home of our squadron for today that we will be flying as. Let me just double check a few things. I think I have... Yep, perfect. And we are going to be fully gassed up for departure. Shouldn't use all the fuel, but just in case we need the extra fuel, we are fully tanked up. We can always ask for in-air refueling if we need to, but this should definitely get us there. So we're gonna start up here, and we're going to taxi over now. It's been changing. Right now, there is no wind, so either 6 left or 24 right are good options for takeoff. For right now, it has us going to 6 left. We're going to take off, hang a left turn, and head to our first navigation aid. We're going to do a VOR to VOR flight today. So we're going to PDZ, then on to NID, DYY, and MVA. So basically we're going to take off and we're going to cut across, head in just to the east of Central Valley here in California. Kind of straddle between California and Nevada. And then once we get to MVA, Mike Victor Alpha, we'll turn in and land here on runway 31 left. Now, right now I have it set to live weather. It is raining in Fallon Naval Air Station here, and there's a massive crosswind. So it's going to be a bit of a touchy landing. We may have to go around if we cannot get on the ground. But we're going to try it. We're going to see what we can do to negate the crosswind as best as possible, or just deal with it and land, because that's what they would do anyway. So yeah, nice little journey today. We will be, there is the Yosemite area. We'll be just to the east of that, between DYY and MVA. And then, so Fallon's up in Nevada near Reno. So, says it's just about an hour-long flight, but of course we'll go around the aircraft once we spawn in. I'll adjust the time, and before we start everything up, we'll get a little bit of light in the sky, so we have a nice sunrise flight, not sunset, sunrise. That's the key, sunrise. And then we'll get in the air. I've got us cleared to 37,000 feet. Probably go up there. We may get all the way up there. Who knows? We'll see how it is. But it's light rain and very windy at Fallon, so I may change it to just clouds, or a few clouds. So that way we still have something in the sky. It's, it would be kind of unreasonable to expect it to be clear all the time. So we'll do that. So I'll give everybody time to get in. You got about 10 minutes. 10 minutes, not 5, 10 minutes, and then we'll get spawned in. We'll go around the aircraft, talk about the squadron and how it's tied to the Top Gun movie. Yeah, we'll go from there. So I'm going to sip on my coffee, come in and say hello if you want. Don't be shy. I know this was something kind of unexpectedly planned. Mainly because Scruffy isn't flying today. He's got other things happening. So I thought, well, I'll go ahead and jump in and get a flight done. So I'm not, worried about over, while he's trying to set up streaming. Although I think he usually starts in about an hour from now. So, but yeah. So I figured this would be a good opportunity. What I'd like to do, what I'm thinking about doing for this channel is, we'll do a DC-6 flight. That'll be like our vintage general aviation, vintage airline sort of stuff. And then another flight we'll do is we'll start with the Tomcat, and then we'll fly. I'll pick a squadron either from the F-14A or B models, and then take off from where they were last stationed at, as much as reasonably as possible, and then we'll do a flight somewhere, so there we go. That's the plan, is to do that, and then we could talk about the squadron itself. Some of its history, stuff like that. Today's flight brought to you by Parasocks Airline. Pair of socks, just because you have those pairs of socks, does not mean they have to match. When he's back to streaming, airline CEO and pilot Scruffy Tam will show you his mismatched socks. All you get to do is ask him nicely, and he'll show you. He's got a camera. No, not fibbing on that one. He's got a camera. He'll show you his mismatched socks. All right. So while we're still waiting, so basically, Fighter Squadron 1 and 2 were based out of Miramar when they stood up and got. They were amongst the first F-14A squadrons in the Navy once the Navy started the procurement process and all that. So they did do cruises on the Enterprise. I think this one has a marking for, it says Enterprise on the side there. We'll see that. Now, in regards to the movie Top Gun, the original movie, Goose and Maverick were assigned to Fighter Squadron 1, but the livery itself, or not the livery, the shirt that you see during the famous beach volleyball scene, and Goose is wearing a squadron shirt, that is not the actual logo for VF1. That was from a different squadron that was an electronic warfare squadron, actually. So they used that and just put, and that was I think it was VQA 110 was the squadron number. So they borrowed they borrowed the logo, put VF1 on there. Ghost Riders is not the call sign for Squadron 1. It's Wolfpack, but they put Ghost Riders as it sounds a little bit cooler than, I don't know, I like Wolfpack. I think that's pretty cool, but maybe they weren't allowed to use it by the Navy. They may have had to change it, or they changed it just for the cool factor. But Ghost Riders is a different Tomcat squadron. But you can see some of the VF1 liveried Tomcats in the opening scenes when they were taking off and landing on the carrier and all that. You can see it if you look closely, or if you know what you're looking for. But yeah, so their squadron would have been assigned to Miramar anyway, but not to you know, to Top Gun itself. That was a selection process that, you know, somebody had to be, if they were going to send, you know, they want their best pilots to go to Top Gun. They don't want just anybody going just for the sake of going. So maybe, I don't know, but anyway, but it's once the Navy was going away from the Tomcat and going to the Super Hornets, the VF-1 Squadron 1 was not one of the squadrons that became the Super Hornet Squadron. It just disappeared into the annals of naval aviation history. So, all right, about 4 minutes, and we'll get spawned in here, and we'll go around. I'll advance the time, and we'll go around the aircraft and all that. I may just change the weather to a few clouds. Because otherwise, I think there's more clouds up at Fallon right now because of the rain. It would make it very difficult to pick out the runway if my system fails like it did last time, or when we flew on Saturday going into Locken Heath, where I did not get my runway, the pattern entry information. So yeah, we'll deal with that accordingly. Tomorrow we'll be back in the MCAS 52, the last long leg flight, and then Saturday we're gonna do the short hops to finish up the tour of America in the MCAS 52. We should have landed in all lower 48 states. I may have inadvertently missed one or two along the way, but I tried to make sure, double check, you know, everything. So hopefully I think I've satisfied the intent. Real quick before we spawn in here. So the 737 has not been submitted to the marketplace as of yet. It is still in testing at PMDG, apparently. They do not know when. The head of PMDG has said that as soon as he gets more information from the testers, from the testing team, then he may have an idea of when it's going to be released, or at least when they'll submit it. And then maybe 2 weeks past the submission, as long as there's no other issues, then they may have an idea of when it's going to be available on the Xbox. But as it stands right now, it is not there. It has not been submitted to Microsoft for processing to the marketplace. So I would not expect it before the end of this month, but it's possible. But I don't think it's gonna happen anytime soon. I would not expect it until probably sometime in June, or even later. I don't know. So yeah. So Xbox folks, we're still in the waiting pattern for the 737. It's being tested and polished and whatever else they got to do to it. All right, let's go ahead and spawn in here, and we'll get some time and weather change, and then we'll. Now the departure runway may change after I change the weather. We'll see, or it may stay at 6 left. But if it changes, it changes. There's not much we can do about it. What else was I going to say? All right, let's get some time, and let's get some light in the sky here. There we go. And let's go ahead and put... Oh, we don't want Arctic Chill. Arctic Chill in Southern California, that would not be good. A few clouds. There we go. All right, there we go. That looks much better. All right. So let me just go ahead and close that. Get the wings going. So there is the there's our squadron livery here. There it is in all its glory. So yeah, this is not a low vis livery. It's very colorful. The Navy was kind of weird in that they would change. They tried a bunch of different paint schemes and stuff for the squadrons. I think they basically have now, with maybe a few exceptions, have stuck with the low visibility sort of livery. There's the Enterprise. And it flew out of there. All right, so that's our Squadron 1, Wolfpack. That's our livery for today. It was originally based out of here at Miramar when it was not on carrier deployment. All right, let's go ahead and pop back into the... we should be on Southeast Asia. I'll pause it. You could get your ocular proof of my livery, or not the livery, which server we're on. There it is, Southeast Asia. There's your ocular proof for today. We like to provide ocular proof when possible. All right, so here is today's route. If you were not paying attention, or you're coming in after the fact, get that going. Let's get our lights on. All right, there's that. Let's get our...
Miramar ground Wolfpack 110 with Charlie request taxi for takeoff west departure.
Okay, we're going to 24 right instead of 6 left.
Taxiing hold short runway 24 right via taxiway Wolfpack 110.
All right. Make sure we're all set otherwise. All right, so we're going to hang a left turn or right turn instead of the left once we're in the air. All right. Let's see, does it have... It does. Okay, but it doesn't have the heading. Just the distance to the first navigation aid there. All right. Let's... if there's no other questions, comments... I see people watching. Nobody wants to say boo. That's all good. Let's double check our flight. There we go. All right. We are all set. Hello, Sue. Welcome. How are you? No, no fancy, no crazy antics today. We're not going to be going. Oh, speaking of which, so I did post a video over in the Discord in the aviation video area. This guy who does videos from the mock loop usually. He went to Greece apparently, and they have their own mock loop there. So I have got to figure out where in Greece is that mock loop, because we definitely would like to fly that. And so yeah, tornadoes from Italy, which nobody would have expected, since those are long retired. Maybe it's in a reserve squadron from Italy, I don't know. And in Greek, F-15s flew through there. So yeah, we definitely got to figure out where that is and have a go. Well, thank you for saying hello, Sue. Greatly appreciate it. Can't interact with anybody if nobody says anything. Don't blame the streamer for not being interactive if you don't interact with the streamer. Nice to see you here, Sue. I know, for some people it's still early in the morning. I'm not everybody's cup of tea at 7 o'clock, 6 o'clock, whatever. So yeah, tomorrow Junkers 52, Saturday 5 short hops in the Junkers 52, and then we'll be done with that. Next week we're gonna fly around Yosemite. We'll take the Kit Fox. We're gonna try being the key word, we're gonna try to land the Kit Fox on top of Half Dome. I think there's plenty of space to do it. I think we can make it happen, but we will see. But that is the that's the plan while we're out and about around Yosemite. We're going to take off and then, we're going to land on Half Dome and then take back off, and then we'll get out there towards Mono Lake, and then we'll land and all that. So looking forward to that. But yeah, we'll give it a go. If it doesn't look like we can do it, or if it looks like I can't get a decent enough approach where we can, I want to try to land on the very top. I don't think it's absolutely flat, but if I can, it's going to be at a bit of an angle, I think. But I'll see. Morning, Mick. How are you? Nice to see you here. Guess you're still recovering from last night's shenanigans in Battlefield. You know, it's funny. I did go. I broke my own rule. I did go into the dark zone last night on Div 2 with some of the folks from my clan. Did pretty good. We didn't face anybody. We didn't lose any loot. But we're like, oh, come on. I'm like, all right. I said, I'm going to regret it. It wasn't that bad. I had a pretty good time. Got some stuff out of it. But it's definitely not my cup of tea, for lack of a better term. All right, here we are at our runway. close up the canopy here. Just a second before we let up onto the runway.
Miramar Tower Wolfpack,
There we are.
110, ready for departure to the west at runway 24 right.
All right.
Cleared for takeoff runway 24 right, Wolfpack 110.
Plenty of runway here. All right, let's just have a quick look outside. Looks like we are good to go. One more thing. Let's just go ahead and turn. Oops. All right, folks, let's get in the air and get going. Gear up. Throttle back just a smidge. Go ahead and start turning towards our nav. We're not going to make our pilot blackout today, if we can help it. Get back over and intercept the line there. Old crusty salute. Thank you, Miramar, for hosting us. Next stop, Naval Air Station Fallon. All right. All right, there we go. Let's get up to about 20,000 feet. We gotta get back to the can't chat going out. All right, Sue, take care. Catch you later. Enjoy your time outside, wherever you're gonna go. We lost our signal. Why did it change? Oh, I know why. We're leveling off at 20,000. I think we can just cruise right here for the rest of the way. Morning, Bex. How are you? Nice to see you here. Are you on your lunch break? Back to the Good to hear. You guys had some good, well, you had a few good matches last night on Battlefield. Some questionable. I don't quite, and maybe it's just me not understanding the but I would think that the mods that people are using on their PlayStation or VL Turbo and the F-18, I guess, trying to catch up to me. That would not be tolerated, I guess. Like I don't understand why that's not being why that's not, you know, people aren't getting banned for it. I don't know. Like I said, maybe it's just I mean, I think any kind of cheating, anything that you do to try to make your character, you know, invincible, or that you're able to do more, you know, damage, whatever. Hey, Scruffy, how are you? Nice to see you here. Welcome. We're on our way to Fallon in the F-14. We're almost near our first navigation point there. Was okay. Swapping people in different teams annoyed me, not what I wanted to do, so left. Ah, yeah. Understandable, Bex. Yeah, doing okay. Had pretty productive physical therapy yesterday, and so yeah, that's going pretty well. Getting more flexibility back in my in the elbow. It's still a bit it's still going to take time, but it's getting there. All right, there's our first navigation point. Was it 344? Yeah, it's definitely, it's taken its time, but it's yeah, 344. All right, just got a little bit more of adjustment to make here. One more click. There we are. All right. Hello, Joseph. I didn't see you sneak in. Alright, let's get a picture out here while we're... cruising along here at 20,000 feet. Take that shot, but boy, I did not expect other folks in today. Usually the server's a bit quiet. All right, nope, these are shot. Usually it's a little bit quieter on the server, but got a few people in the air. I think VL Turbo's trying to catch up to me in the F-18 there. Yes, maybe. I mean, Joseph popped in. I didn't see. Oh, there he is. Sorry, I missed it. Joseph, I was... So we will fly over China Lake near there, which was where in the second movie that's where the Dark Star took off from. Where that 747 and that 737 are at, that's LAX right there. That should be, we believe. Okay, let the wing sweep back. There we go. We're not going to go all maneuverable, but we'll swing the wings back because it just looks cool flying with the sweat. Just looks faster. So yeah, I watched Growler Jams did another voiceover where it was he was talking about he had a nice little long taxi to the, well, they were on the carrier, and I think that's the first time I've ever heard a pilot talk about the effects of the carrier launch on their watches. I knew you could see that he wears a watch because the watch face is kind of colorful, it stands out. But it, I looked, and a lot of pilots don't wear, like these fancy mechanical timepieces and chronographs and all that. They wear, somebody did a survey, most pilots, or at Miramar especially, they did a wrist check, basically. And a lot of pilots wear either Garmin aviation themed watches that are for, or especially for pilots, but also they wear a lot of G-Shocks. So I thought that was kind of cool that he still wears a mechanical timepiece, but that the GAT launches do have an impact on those pieces. Oh, I guess the other folks gave up on. Oh, we can get another shot then. Here, let's get this. There we go. That looks good right there. Smile for the camera. Still trying to save cash and find some. Oh. I don't know. I kind of feel like I'm as much as I'd like a PC. I kind of feel like there's just no. It seems like even the people who have like really high-end gaming computers still are having issues with things like flight sim. It's just too. I don't know. I mean, I am thinking, that I might just get a PS or an Xbox Series X because it's got more storage space, that sort of thing. And the graphics card is better than on the S. Oh, Gordon Lightfoot passed away. Well, that's sad. Canadian musician. Yeah, I just saw that Sergeant Stafford posted about Gordon Lightfoot passing away. There's a documentary on Amazon Prime about him. I have to watch it now. I thought he had passed away a long time ago. I didn't know he was still alive. You never know with some of these musicians from certain eras, not areas, eras. What's our next? 341. All right. We can dial that in now. Should be China Lake next, I do believe. just passing. I think we're near China Lake now, actually. We're crossing it over. Maybe that's what it is. Yep. We're getting ready to go near China Lake. All right, 117 nautical miles to our next. We're going to a DME next, and then yeah, we're almost there. We're cruising right along here, and we haven't even gone supersonic. Yeah, we did that at we did that. Well, I tried to, kind of did it at Lock and Heath, but I got lost trying to figure out where the runway was for me to land, because my landing pattern thing did not show up until just as we were getting ready to finally land there at Lock and Heath. It was a bit of a mess, that flight. Well, it was fun. I shouldn't say it was a bit of a mess. Towards the end there, it was just difficult to pick out the runways and all that. So. But yeah, so what I was saying, so starting with the F-14, so basically what we'll do is we'll take the F-14, we'll pick a squadron, we'll fly or try to fly if they're like, there was F-14 squadrons that I think did stay at Alameda for a bit. The closest naval air station, or what was a naval air station, is Moffett, so we could use that as the alternate base. Then we can have some fun in the Tomcats and talk about the squadrons. And then I want to do other aircraft as fighter aircraft. The only problem is, I have this great book, and it's the War Paint series. That has a lot of information about Tomcat squadrons, and the problem is that the information, well, because either the squadrons are no longer in existence, like Squadron 1 is. It's gone. It did not transfer over into the Super Hornet squadrons. There's just not a lot of information, like the F-15s, F-16s, F-18s, F-35s. I mean, there might be some books, but the details are very minor, I would expect. Given that these aircraft, some of them are still, miss catching up with you as well. This was just kind of a spur. Well, I thought about it when Scruffy posted that he wasn't going to be able to stream today due to other obligations. I thought, well, I can get a quick flight in, and so. Yeah, it's just readjusting everything now that I have to go to physical therapy twice a week now. Okay, we are on to our next navigation in the DME. We just flew over China Lake. There it is, right there. So yeah, it's just trying to do all that. Yeah. Yeah. I'm just trying to squeeze stuff in, and on top of doing other stuff, being in other streams or in other, whether watching or participating. It's a lot, and I feel bad because I know, like, Captain Arash went live last night, and I was just wiped out. I needed to rest my arm and get some heat on there. And I know it's easy to just lurk, in the stream, and that's what I should have done. I was, and I got when Mick was streaming last night, then I got doing stuff on Div 2, and then it's just, I don't know. There's just so many people I follow now that it's like trying to find time to watch everybody, spend a little bit of time. Like if I pop into Kaharia's stream, like, I think she knows me from Scruffy's stream, or maybe even Captain Arash's, but I'm not like it's not like, hey, like, she'll say, like, hey, Uncle B, Sim Channel, but like, I've not established like a long-term, like, I'm always there kind of thing. And yeah, it's kind of difficult sometimes to do all that. Spend time with everybody, or as many people as possible. To drive. Oh, nice. All right, cruising right along here. We're almost to our destination. We 92 nautical miles, just under 93 nautical miles to DME. Yeah, it's I did not expect that this injury, the recovery wasn't so bad. Now it's post recovery, getting movement back in the arm and everything. It sucks. It really sucks. And I wish I could go back in time and totally go a different route, or not go out at all that day. Just like, no, I better stay home. It sucks. It really does. But I mean, it's good that I'm making progress, but it's like, I don't know. Alright, we should be near Yosemite, I think. Getting pretty close to it. We may not be able to see it. It might be behind the clouds or whatever, but so yeah, it's a lot of stuff to do, and I'm just like, oh. If we can see Mono Lake, then we'll know we're near Yosemite. But yeah, it's just taking its time. But it's every visit now, it's like try this other exercise. Let's see how you do with that. You know, it's added to the list of things to do. So it's good. I'm hoping here next week or so things are going to kind of fall into place, and I'm going to get the finalize everything and get out to Flight Sim Expo. Be nice to actually see people's faces in person. That a little bit easier to read. All right, 64 nautical miles. All right. So we should be almost there. We should see Mono Lake here pretty soon, I would think. But yeah, it'd be nice to see people in person and sit down and have a off-stream conversation. Yeah. I think tomorrow is the developer Q&A, roadmap Q&A thing. Sobo/Microsoft. Notice if any, oh, I lost a follower. I just saw that. Went from 240 to 239. Oh well. Oh well, what can you do? Can't make everybody happy, right? I tried that before, and it just doesn't work. The oxygen turned on. Oh, maybe that's why. A bit oxygen starved. Now, I wonder Well, not that I would think it would be appropriate. But I wonder if, like, if we were able to invert the plane, could you keep the autopilot engaged while inverted? I don't know. Maybe there's a safety measure that it would not work because it's got a. Guessing all the systems would only work when the plane's right side up. I don't think there's a way to utilize the autopilot when the plane's inverted, because it's not meant to be a way to fly like the whole way or something. Like the quickness of the blood draining to your head, you know. Yeah, I don't think that would be something you would want to do for an extended period of time. But we must be near Yosemite for talking to Oakland Center. Let's have a look at her. 20. Alright. Keep an eye out for Mono Lake if we can. I know it'll be to our left. If we can see it. Well, thank you all for coming in and hanging out today. Not a super long flight. Just something to do this morning. Have a bit of fun. Without making our pilot pass out like we did last time. Over there by the Mach Loop. Getting lost over by the Mach Loop. So, thank you all for coming in and saying hello. Keeping the chat going. Hey, Paradox, good morning. So, kind of going, if you haven't heard, the PMDG 737 has not been submitted to Microsoft for the marketplace to be finally put in the marketplace. It is still in testing at PMDG. They do not have a date as of yet as to when it will be available. They're still putting some polish on it, I guess. And once they know or once they've submitted it to yeah, I didn't hear about it till this morning because I was looking on the forums, and then I watched a video from a flight simmer that does a lot, you know, kind of like a lot of streamers do. They have like a news sort of thing, you know, stuff that's in development. They put their own spin on it, kind of thing. But yeah, so that is not coming anytime soon. It doesn't seem like. Well, it's still coming, but there's no definitive date now. I think we're going to go ahead and start slowing down just a smidge here. Let's get down to 270 because we're going to. Yeah, overkill. Yeah, I saw it, and it just so happened it came up in my recommendations this morning, so I listened, and that's when I heard about the. So yeah. back out here. Yep, overkill. Who apparently will be at Flight Sim Expo. Like most every, well, I shouldn't say every streamer, anybody who can, who streams or is involved. Yeah, it does. Right here. You click it to on. Once the autopilot's engaged, you turn on the indicated airspeed mode, and then you can just tune in, or you can dial in whatever speed you prefer. All right, so we are near, okay. All right, we got to start dropping some altitude here. Let's see. Yeah, it has all that. What's that about? Oh, yeah, I'm gonna try to go. That is my intent. I'm just waiting on some stuff to happen for me that I can afford the trip and not be broke. So I'm hoping by the end of this week or next week, I'll have some things happen, and then I'll be able to finalize the plans and everything. I will not be flying. I've decided. It's weird because the other day, speaking of flying, the other day I saw a CRJ, I think, one of the regional jets. It wasn't an Embraer, I don't think, but it was definitely a CRJ that took off from the airport, which is weird near where I live, because normally I thought that they had done away with all those flights. Like the airport near where I live is ridiculously small, and only regional jets can get in and out of there. If you're looking to like fly somewhere else, they'll take you to like Chicago or to wherever, or LaGuardia, Newark Liberty, stuff like that. But I'm going to take the bus to get there to Houston. So I just have to pick which way I'm going to go to get to Houston. So that is the tricky part. But I will be taking the bus to get to Houston for Flight Sim Expo. But I'm thinking I'm going to go probably a little bit. I'll probably get there a day or two ahead of everybody, so that I have time to get settled and do a little bit of my own sightseeing. Before the expo. Yeah, I didn't even think about it until like Scruffy started talking about it, and then like a lot of streamers started talking about it, and then I'd really like to go, to meet everybody as much as possible, and then also see some of the cool stuff that's going to happen for Flight Sim in the near future. So yeah, I really would like to check all that out. Oh, I think we just flew over. No, I don't think that. I'm on a lake. Oh, look at the colors there. The deep red. Check that out. Huh. Interesting. So yeah, I mean, I wasn't thinking about it, and then when everybody started talking about it, I'm like, I'd really like to go and check all this stuff out. All right, where are we at now? We have 36 nautical miles away, so we need to drop some more altitude here. Keep our keep an eye on our altitude here, because there are a lot of low mountains. We don't want to crash or anything. If we can help it. Fallon is up in higher altitude than Miramar is, so. And in both Top Gun movies, Naval Air Station Fallon, the area, the training area, was used for parts of the filming of the movies. You watch all the way to the end and watch the credits. It'll talk about that. All right, what's our 29? Yep, just under 29 knots. Yeah, there's some people that are doing that. They know people in the area that are able to host them. I don't know. Like I don't know people well enough where I would feel comfortable with that. But that's yeah. I don't know. Hello, Milla. You're just in time. We will be getting ready to land here at Naval Air Station Fallon in just a bit. We have one more navigation aid. We just got to intercept that here in 20, just under 24, almost 20, just under 23 nautical miles to go. We're going to turn in. Put this to 230. North of Houston. I mean, it's always worth a shot to see if they're willing to host you, but yeah, I don't know anybody well enough that I would feel comfortable, you know, unless it was somebody I've known for like, you know, a couple of years or more. Like if my buddy, my Army buddy, was living in the Houston area, that would be, you know, like I've known him for quite a long time, so I would be like, yeah, you can crash here. So, yeah, otherwise I wouldn't feel comfortable with that. Alright, we should be well under. Yep, 14. Alright. We should be able to talk to, let's see. KNFL. Might still be too far. 2 airports at Goldfield. Okay, that's interesting. Let's see, what's our last... hold on just a second. check something because we have, once we get here, we have, sir, might still be, okay, yeah, 60 nautical miles. Okay, yeah, we still got a bit. Okay, take care, Scruff. I had leftover pork loin last night for dinner. And, okay. Let's go back up here. I need a social environment like that to be more comfortable. I've heard. Yeah. Yeah. Well, I think generally my feeling is that um, when you are in an environment where the subject is something that you are very passionate about, right? So, like, say you love cars and you go to a car show and you talk to the owners of these cars, you're going to be more comfortable and you're going to be able to interact with people a lot better because it's a subject that you can relate to, and you can relate to the people that are there as part of that. And when it's something that you're not comfortable with, or it's that social awkwardness, like how can you talk to people because it's a subject that you're just like, oh, I can't really talk about this, or I don't feel like I know enough to say anything, yeah, it can make things difficult, and you just don't feel like you're able to contribute to it. And I learned over the years that if you can at least know a little bit about the subject, like I know for a fact, like my buddy in Vegas, for instance, he loves watching NFL football. I don't watch it, but I know enough that if he's on the phone, we can talk about it, or I'll ask him, like, what do you think about this team this year? Do you think they got a shot? Because then at least it's a subject that I know he cares about, and I can discuss it with him, even if I don't, I don't care about the outcome of the games or whatever, right? I can at least, so that's the difficult part, is trying to find, get enough information about something that you can have be a part of a conversation. I mean, that's why I read a lot, so that I, at least I know. Now, does it mean that what I read is correct? Well, maybe it is, maybe it isn't. It's hard to say, Ooh, all those lights are on. What's going on there, Lord? Oh, automatic stuff. So yeah, but I mean, flight simming, there's a lot of people. Some people are very, in depth about it. They want everything to be, you got to do everything exactly like it should be done. And other people are just like, I just fly and have fun. I don't care about all the, they don't care about learning all the other stuff. This doesn't interest them. So, all right, let's have a look here. We are. Okay, so 48 nautical miles. All right, we should be able to get a. Let's see if we can talk to them now. Oh, never mind. There it is right there. All right, there we go. All right, let's slow down even more. Let's drop some more altitude. Yeah, it does help. Otherwise, you know, you're just going to kind of sit in the corner and, you know, it's just, it doesn't really do anything for anybody. You know, you're miserable. Right? So, yeah. But I know that feeling. You know, when you're in a group of people you don't really know. But that's the great thing, I think, about Flight Sim Expo. Everybody, you know, whether you're just a casual simmer or you're hardcore about it, it shouldn't matter. You know, you're all part. Everybody's part of the community. At least that's how it should be. Not everybody sees it that way, of course. There's still I still see it. It's not as blatant as it used to be, but there are still the snide comments on the forums about simmers on the console. That, you know, you're just a casual simmer. You don't really matter, you know, in the bigger scheme of things. Let's take a look at our let's have a look at the chart for Fallon. I want to see what the what's the altitude. I know it's up there. We're going to be running out of distance here pretty quick, and I know I got to drop some more altitude. I just got to figure out how much more without putting okay, it's about 4,000 feet, so say if we can get down to 7. Let's try 9,000 first. Oh. Or maybe it was a warning of some kind. So it should be almost just right in front of us, as we should be just about lined up with the runway itself. All right, 29 nautical miles. So we still got to get a little bit closer before we can see the approach guidelines. I figure if we're at about 7,000 feet, we should be right roughly where we need to be to glide in those last 3,000 feet to land. Let's have a look here. 3-1 left is the heading. Ooh, have it right there. Just got heading is 3, looks like 311. We're going to hand fly it in, of course. Let me get back to the chat here. All right. Oh, and of course we got the ads. Well, if we have to go around, we can. We got more than enough fuel for a go around. If the ads are not cleared up by the time I, let's see, 20 nautical miles. Slow down to 180. Oh, I see the pattern entry right there. I believe that's it. Yep, there it is right there. Well, folks, all right, we got to get gotta go to the right just a bit. Landing gear down. All right. I'm gonna just have to go. We're gonna have to land because I can't. Yeah. Yeah. We're gonna. Hopefully the ads are done. All right. I gotta get the altitude hold. I always forget about that. All right, there we go. All right, we'll get on the ground here and we'll get ready to wrap things up for the day. Yeah, it wasn't too bad of a flight. We did pretty good. Thank you all again for coming in and hanging out. Whether you just lurked and watched or you engaged in the chat, greatly appreciate you being here. Back tomorrow on the Euchre's 52. Bangor, Maine to Portsmouth. Post the information in the Discord here. Once we wrap this up and I get this going over on the YouTube. Flap should be completely down. Yep. A nice long runway here. Got plenty of space to get over and get this touchdown. Bit of a crosswind. There we go. I like it. We'll take it. Not too shabby. Not too shabby at all. On behalf of myself and the entire flight crew, we'd like to welcome you to Fallon Naval Air Station. Local time is 5:24 in the morning. Get our, well, thank you, Milla. Thank you, Paradox. Yeah, it wasn't too bad. Yeah, I will as soon as I can get these speed brakes disengaged. Oh, there we go. There they are. Roll on down. Thank you, Joseph. Exit right here. I promise. Yeah, that wasn't too bad. Much better than the one on Saturday, that's for sure.
for Wolfpack 110.
That's not what I wanted.
Navy Fallon ground Wolfpack 110 taxi to parking.
I kid. Yeah. Yeah, that figures.
Taxiing to general aviation parking via taxiway 110.
He might like that though, Bex. He might like that. Be careful. Be careful what you say. All right, fold the wings. Oh, thank you, Mick. Appreciate it. Did Bex kidnap you too? Or was it only Joseph that was afforded that opportunity? You guys must be on the non-adult farm, or maybe you guys are doing Battlefield or something. Come on, green thing, go away. Come on. Alright, it's not going to disappear. Alright. Well, there we go. Got our engine shut down. Ooh, let's get our lights off here. Oh, look what else we can do. Now our air crew can safely exit the aircraft. All right. Yeah, quite like that one. That was good. Let's turn off the battery. Hour and 11 minutes. Not too bad. Not too bad at all. So, there we are. Ta-da. We made it. So, yeah. Tomorrow, we'll be back in the UCARS 52, departing from Bangor, Maine, heading to Portsmouth International. I will post all the information in the Discord here in a little bit. Thank you all for coming in and hanging out. Hopefully you enjoyed it. And you learned something. Oh, I didn't even put in the little blurb. If you want to do your own homework, which I highly suggest, not that many people care, but here is if you want to click on the link and save it for later reading, there is the information about Fighter Squadron 1 that is no longer in existence, one of the original Tomcat squadrons in the U.S. Navy. You have learned something. Ha ha ha. Okay. Well, you say so, Joseph. You say so. Mick might say differently. I'm sure Mick would say, "Yeah, I'm not buying it, Joseph. I'm not buying it." But anyway, yeah. So we'll be back tomorrow, 6:45 Eastern, 11:45 UK, 10:45 UTC, UCARS 52. Thank you all once again for coming in and hanging out. Do enjoy the rest of your Tuesday, morning, afternoon, evening, early Wednesday for some folks around the world already. I have been and always shall be your host and pilot, Uncle B. Until tomorrow, peace. Live long and prosper.